So, Johan Pavi, thanks very much for coming down to talk to me today. It's really good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a
Pleasure.
pleasure.
I'm very excited to chat to you just because I think that what you do and the company you work for is a very intriguing company.
Thank you.
So, I guess for anyone that hasn't come across Depop, could you just kind of explain to us what is Depop? How does it work?
Yeah, so Depop is a fashion marketplace. So it's an app mainly. We do have a website, but mainly an app where you can buy and sell your clothes. What you do if you customize your clothes, if you make stuff like jewelries and things like that, you can put that in there. And it's about you and yourself, your style, and you can present yourself as a unique individual. It's really community led, which is very interesting and really important for us. Yeah, that's it.
I think it's such a good idea because people of, well, all people, but particularly people of a slightly younger age range, have always gone to the charity shops and vintage shops, and you're looking for those bargains and try and find cool clothes that aren't off the high street. And it was always quite a difficult process. And essentially, you've created this community where people can communicate, they can swap stories, they can share clothes, they can buy and sell clothes. It can give sort of budding fashion designers opportunities to actually get out there and start to sort of make money, and it seems like such a good idea. And then you've got sort of certain, I noticed when I went on there the other day that there's some sort of celebrities on there and things as well. So how does that work?
So we do onboard more famous people on the platform that wants to get rid of the clothes that they get, as being famous. So we do manage the account, which is another layer of the business. But I think at the core, when Depop started, is it was a perfect timing 6 years ago where Instagram was picking up, and that's there is the social aspect on Depop, so people message each other, you can save items, so people are have full-on discussions on their DMs and stuff, and that's what makes it very unique. And
so it's not just like eBay for clothes.
No, it's not just about buying. It's about exchanging and talking to real humans. So I think that's what's appealing to the newer generation. And he appeared at the time where Instagram was there. So it's like an Instagram and eBay combined.
And the platform, I'd say, is a bit more younger skewed, isn't it? So it's definitely a sort of Generation Z type thing, but it does go up. Obviously, lots of people using it. So, what's your take on what they respond to well? Do you have to take a bit of a different approach in terms of how they interact with each other and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I think because they're basically used to the technology now. They're born with smartphones and they're using it all the time and stuff. So I think it's very important not to be too salesy and actually try to bring either entertainment, pure entertainment, or pure utility, value-based content. So in everything that we do and everything that we do for digital marketing, for example, it's all about what's that content that are we championing the community, and then we mainly talk about them rather than Depop. We do have obviously some ads that talk about the features of the app and how to use it, and you should download it, and because that's one of the KPIs is to get new users for me. But I'm always keen with the team to find an angle where we talk about X, and she's really cool because she's doing X, Y, and Z, and find her on Depop kind of thing. So it's finding the right amount of community-led, people-led marketing with a little bit of push to bring them down the funnel. But
that's really interesting you say that, because it's something that I talk about a lot, which is that I think that in today's world, people are getting a bit sick of digital advertising. They're just, oh God, I just don't want that anymore. And it's quite easy also to tune it out. It's quite easy to just look at that. So if you really want to reach people, you have to give them that sense of value, whether that's entertainment or like you say, utility, that there's something they can use and it's helpful to them. And it's not too salesy, so it's quite interesting in saying that. What sort of stuff do you do then to get people excited about the platform?
So in this role, I'm super like keen to like develop like the digital sphere. Like it tackles everything in digital, so it's not just ads, but it's also branding. So the way we are trying to develop it at Depop is not to go too much on the ads side of things that could be, like you said, repetitive and people are tuning it off and stuff. Like it might work for a moment and then it will kind of like slow down, like like it is for everyone. So it will be like compensating with as much cool content as you can at the top of the funnel. And how do you distribute that content, and where you can do the remarketing game to bring people further down the funnel. So like I've been hearing about the funnel strategy. Everyone is talking about this for like 10 years of marketing, but actually it's the first time that I'm getting to like actually doing it, to touch it. Because when people talk about it, they mainly do the same thing. It's the same type of content at every stage. It's just like, oh, let's just change the message, like the text for the first video, but it's just a sales funnel. You're just selling and selling a little bit more. Whereas here we're really trying to bring either, like I said, full just entertainment or pure value from like discovering a seller on the platform. And I will give them the show, like for 5 minutes we'll just do like a 5 minutes video, which we'll spend the day with them and like do a 5 minutes video with them and put that on YouTube, put that everywhere.
So I have to ask, you've got a lot of experience in the world of digital marketing, and obviously you're dealing with a slightly younger generation at the moment. What would be your one sort of piece of advice, you think, for brands if they want to get an edge in today's world, which is largely digital? What would be your one piece of advice?
I think I would say really focus on the content you're creating and how much you're creating, and link to that, how is your team structured around delivering on that content? Because I think that's one of the main challenges that I've seen in my past, like my last 2 jobs basically, and I'm working on right now, is if you want to be effective, like I was saying, like on most of the channels, not just 1 or 2, but like everywhere, and be represented in the most successful way, you need a lot of content and like different type of content, and like define, I would say, like define what you want to talk about, like your pillars, and be creative with it and invest in it. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it definitely needs some resources, some people to do it. But content and creative is, regardless if you want to do it in-house or externalize it and stuff, but that's the most important thing, because you need it to test, you need it to refresh, you need it to be specific to all the channels and to the targeting as well, capabilities. So if you think about it, you could go really crazy on content and have so much that would be relevant to what you're trying to do. So yeah, that would be that.
I think that's a really good bit of advice. I mean, I think what's unique about the world we live in at the moment is that all companies, all brands, all businesses, all startups, everybody, you can all be your own publisher. You can become a publisher. You can have ownership of your own content. There's the channels out there to do that, and everybody can be creators.
Exactly,
and it's a way of getting your own audience.
Yeah, exactly. There's I'm sure some of the people listening will know, but like this guy in the US, Gary Vee, that's what he's talking about a lot, and I truly believe in it. It's like every company should be a media company / what you do, and just do a lot of media, a lot of content, and it's hard because you need to be a bit less precious about it as well if you want to test, because you don't know it's all subjective, you know, like what people's opinion and what you think's gonna work versus what's working. You need to start somewhere and then iterate on what's working. But yeah, that's I think that's the key. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Johan, thanks very much for coming down. It's been awesome talking to you. I will definitely be watching Depop to see where you guys go next. I think it's going to be big things in the future. I see it only growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So best of luck with it all.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Awesome.